Hi everyone, I'm Angela, your Divine Feminine Earth Angel. I'm here for to do another reading today. So before I get started, I just wanted to talk about some of the things that has been happening. That even some of which I personally have experienced in my own journey. Um, so within the collective, I've seen a lot of messages coming out from other readers that are talking about some divine masculines possibly putting the DFs in certain situations that may be very triggering, right? Maybe you've had some of those experiences yourself. So, me personally, I was really affected by it, and so for me, it was I felt saw it. It was something of a betrayal, like betrayal of trust, when certain informations get put out in the public. Your personal information gets put out over the web without your awareness, without your permission, and it's a scary thing, right? So now I say that DF and DM very loosely. So whether it is, and in fact, a twin flame situation or a soulmate situation or any kind of relationship that you're in, and something like that happens, it's very traumatic. And so some of those relationships could also be karmic, right? So we always have to use discernment to sort out what situation that we are in. But again, at the end of the day, I always go back to this journey. For me, it's about really learning to grow into becoming a person that is unconditionally loving. Right now, it doesn't mean that you allow yourself to be a footstool, or you allow people to manipulate you, or allow someone to betray your trust or violate you in a way that you would not do to anyone. So you have boundaries that you've set, I would hope. So you know what those boundaries are, and if someone violates your trust, you have to do whatever you can reasonably to defend and protect yourself. So with that being said, it's not so much about what is being done, quote unquote, to us. It's for me, I still think it's about how we respond to those situations, the challenging situations. So that's what makes us, I believe, what differentiates us from being in a karmic situation is the way we respond to things. Because I believe that, as divine beings, divine feminines or divine masculines, anyone who is on this journey, if you are on it and you are on the side of light versus darkness, you want to be very aware of the words that you speak, how you respond to situations, and how you allow your emotions to be used when you're navigating especially difficult situations. So it's very important. So, because I think those are the moments that, again, differentiates us from being light beings versus dark beings. Okay, so just wanted to touch on that. And so I wanted to pull some cards to see if some of that message comes out, because again, I've seen that is something that's been across the community of the twin flame community, especially or the soulmates communities from the other readers. So I just wanted to pull some cards to see what messages come out for us, maybe some things that may resonate with you, and hopefully it will help you in your own personal journey. But again, I would just say that no matter what happens on your external environment, we always have control about how we respond to it. And that has been the biggest lesson that I've learned, most recently with this experience that I've had to go through, is being aware of how I responded to things. So you don't let situations take you out of your element. That's why if you notice on my channel, I do have some other spiritual tools on on this channel. And for me, this is how I'm able to ground myself, because I feel like I'm growing, not just growing in this twin flame relationship, but also I'm more so importantly, I'm really trying to grow personally within myself, to ground myself, becoming a better person, a better being, because becoming more whole. Because I believe that at the end of the day, the more whole we are able to become within our own selves individually, the better we are prepared to be a match with someone that is vibrating at our frequency, whether that has the title of divine, of masculine or not. Okay, it just could be your counterpart, your vibrationally matched counterpart. So that's important, for us to prepare ourselves, so that that will help us grow into beings that are attracting the kind of relationships that we want. And with that, I'm going to add one thing. Sadhguru, whom I follow, he talks about love being who you are. So we are love, right? So relationship is what we do, right? So we have to be able to differentiate the two. We can be love even if we're not in a relationship. We can still embody love. You can still love someone that you're not in a relationship with. So I think that's really important, and that's the journey that I am on. Primarily, first and foremost, is that journey. And then again, with the hope that I can nurture myself, my being, and eventually and ultimately attract something, someone, things that are vibrationally matched to me. Okay, so with that, I'm going to pull some cards real quick, okay? So I have a few decks, but I'm going to primarily use this original Rider-Waite deck. So I'm just going to shuffle. I hope you guys are doing okay. Again, just tagging on to what I've said already, I really had to draw from my spirituality a lot. I found myself praying more, doing more meditation. I mean, really just tapping into what I knew works for me to help me stay grounded, to help me remain in a place of love. So I'm just encouraging everyone to really do that, because sometimes we forget that we have those tools at our disposal. Okay, we still have our spirituality to tap into. So I was praying, I was, casting demons and stuff, right? So it's not something that I do every day, but I found that it really helped me. So don't forget to ground yourself, tap into what works for you, tap into who you are. Okay, just find ways to de-stress. It's really important, because this journey can be very, very stressful. And it's not just the twin flame journey, it's anything that it's just, in general. The day-to-day process can be stressful if we're not whole within ourselves, if we're not coming from a state of calmness, stillness, if we're not meditating. So that's really important that we don't forget to do those things. Take a walk, be out in the nature. Like today, I spent some time in the nature, and it really helps, and that's one of those things that just it's not costly to do, and you could just do it. Okay. So with that, I've split this deck, and I'm going to just pick up a few cards. I'm going to pull 4 cards to start off. All right. See what those messages are telling us. So the first one, I have the Queen of Wands. Then I have the Knight of Wands comes up. Page of Wands was a lot of wands coming up, right? Aries. Then I have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands. So it's a lot of fiery Aries energy coming up. Okay, a lot of wands coming up. So now, the Queen of Wands. We have obviously we've all had to stand in our own power, right? Being the queen, coming from a place of taking action, inspired actions on our own behalf. We've had to do that. Being a Queen of Wands, you may have become fierce in really standing in your own strength and speaking up for yourself, fighting for yourself, working hard for yourself, right? And for you to have done that, you had to remain balanced. Okay, you had to remain balanced, and that's really important. That's sort of what this message is also what I've been talking about, is that we have to ground ourselves. We have to take action from a place of centeredness, not a place of chaos and being karmic in nature. Okay, so it's okay to fight your cause, but you don't have to fight it in a dirty way. You don't have to get down to someone else's level to be able to defend the things that are important to you. Okay, so remember to always embody that, no matter what it is that we are, because a lot of us, we are, we're supposed to have causes, right, that we are supposed to stand up for. So you can't stand up for something if you're being unreasonable, if you're not grounded within yourself. So that's, I think, is really important. Okay, we've had to move slow. We've had to be meticulous, step by step. Sometimes it means, it has had to mean saying a prayer and waiting for your answers to come, right? So you've experienced some things perhaps that you may have wanted it to cease overnight or immediately, but it did not cease immediately. Some of those annoying things, some of those frustrations, for lack of a better word, they were resolving slowly, and they are resolving slowly perhaps in your life, right? So, but nevertheless, you are putting in the work. You're doing the work that you need to do. You're speaking your truth. You're fighting your battle, but you also know that progress sometimes can be slow. Okay, so we have to accept that. Again, knowing that the divine has a plan for us, so sometimes it's divine timing that's at play. Okay, and the Page of Wands here, we did the best that we could, right? We may have started off not knowing exactly how we were going to defend what actions that we were supposed to take, right? We may have started off with that. But as you go within yourself and you start to meditate and you start to make a plan, then you started seeing that, some things were able to progress where you can actually do some things that can help alleviate some of those situations that you may have found yourself in. Okay? Because it's quite a burden. It can be burdensome when someone betrays our trust. It can be rather stressful. But we again have a choice on how we respond to any situation that comes up in our life, and we can be allow ourselves to be blindsided to a place, into where we start acting irrationally. Okay, so we have to take those blinders off. I know the burden can be great. It can be much. We feel like we are going into an unknown, but still, it goes back to being grounded, taking care of yourself on a day-to-day basis, doing your spiritual practices, your grounding practices, so that you're not in a high stressful emotion or high stressful mindset, and then you respond from that place. Because again, that could become a situation where we label that as being karmical. Right? So we can communicate and get what we want by while being mindful about our words, our actions. We don't want to be as, we don't want to stoop to the same level as someone that may have harmed us. There's always a better option. We always want to keep love in the foreground in all the decisions that we make. Yeah, I think that gives us the ultimate. It doesn't mean that you become a footstool. It just means that you can respond, but not react. Okay, so that's important. Let me pull a couple of more cards. Okay, the word comes out. Okay, so I get the word. Right. So with that, movement is inevitable. Everything changes. Right? No situation, no condition is permanent. We know that even if we are in a situation right now where we feel that there's a lot being put on us, we have a lot of burdens, right? Even ahead of us or that we are facing, we also know that nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. Okay, so it helps to not get too much ahead of ourselves. Because sometimes that's what happens is when situations start to get out of control like that, our mind, our thoughts starts racing, starts trying to exaggerate and give us the worst possible scenarios, right? But even if it ends up being that, because some of this is not even over yet, some of it is still unfolding. Even if it ends up being that, we still have to have the understanding that nothing lasts forever. Nothing. It's still going to pass. Okay, so this too shall pass. Okay, so movement will come, changes will occur, and we will persevere through them. Okay? Right. One more cards. Okay, I see a King of Pentacles coming up here. Okay. So this here, now I've gotten some of this too in readings in the past. It's a situation where we either have to understand that we have the resources that we need to defend ourselves. We do have it. We do have those resources available. We're an abundant being. Okay, the divine feminines, the divine masculines, if you are watching, we're divine beings. We are an abundant being. So we have everything that it takes for us to be able to materially, to be able to navigate the situations that we are being faced with. Okay, but we have to again know that to be able to tap into those resources that we have. For some of us, okay, for some people, this is a situation where there may be someone coming in to help you. There may be someone in the picture that will be able to help you navigate those situations. But again, we have to be in the best possible mindset for us to continue to attract things or people into our lives that are of vibrational match that perhaps can help us navigate some of these unknowns that we are going through. Okay? So it's like when we, for example, when you pray, like when I pray, you have to be in a receptive mode. You have to be in that receptive mode because we're asking for the divine to intercede on our behalf, right? So if we are doing that, then that means we are in expectant that there's going to be help. So if we are in expectant that there's going to be help, then that means that we are tuning into the frequency that would allow someone else to come into the picture to help us navigate these situations. Okay? So there may be someone that's it's a King of Pentacles that's stepping in to help us with these burdens that we are facing recently. Okay? Yeah, I get the Ace of Wands. Okay? The Ace of Wands. So basically, the help is coming. The help, even if we haven't already received the help, we know that the help is coming. It's straight from the divine. There is an action, a new beginning that is going to come in to help us in this situation. Something is going to, something is coming. Okay? There's going to be opportunity, maybe work opportunities. There's going to be new inspirational opportunities that's coming, maybe within yourself, that will further inspire you to know which direction to go, right? So it's a confirmation that we are not alone. And when we put out things like prayer, when we put faith in what we believe in, when we have done what we can and we remain in a place of love, good things will happen and changes will occur. Nothing lasts forever. Even if it's a bad situation, it doesn't last forever. Magician. And so the Magician card comes out. Right? So with the Magician card, again, it's the divine is there to help us. The divine is going to give us whatever it is that we need to be able to navigate these situations. Okay? We have all the tools. Whether it's going to come from within us or it's going to come from someone else coming in to help us, we're gonna be okay. Okay, whatever situation that you're facing right now, know that it is going to work out for you. It's gonna work out. Changes are coming, changes are happening, so it's inevitable. But you have to still remain in a positive mindset. Act as if, believe it. You know, we have to visualize the outcomes also that we want to see manifest in our life. That's very important. Okay? Get the Judgment card. Okay? So with that, it's again confirmation that the divine is going to intercede on our behalf. Whenever you find yourself in a situation where you do not know how or what you're going to do, and you reach out to whomever your source is, whatever you believe in, if you just remain in the knowing, you're going to have the judgment that you seek. It's going to happen. Okay, so it's a further confirmation that it's going to be an opportunity for you to rejoice. It may seem that it's a lot going on, but at the end of it, there's going to be celebration. There's going to be acknowledgement. There's going to be trumpets being sounded, victory trumpets being sounded. That we always reap what we sow. Okay? So there's no need to be afraid of the unknown. Just stay grounded. But sometimes things take time. So what you will have to do at this time is just to stay grounded. Stay calm, remain calm. Let that time pass. Because this too shall pass. Yeah? The Seven of Swords. Yeah, we don't have to engage in underhanded practices. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. That's what people who are not awakened do. When you are divine, you don't have to engage in those low-level practices. Okay? So whatever it is that you are confident in, whatever you have, whatever tools you have, use those. The positive tools that you have, use those. Don't start reaching everywhere. Don't panic. There's no need for that. Okay? I'm going to pull a couple more to round it out. So, what do we have coming in for us regarding this situation that we have been experiencing, this stressful, overburdening situation that we have been experiencing? What do we have to look forward to? What is the advice right now that we should keep in mind? Okay, what should we know? What do we need to know? Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of more cards to round that up. So I get a Three of Wands. Again, Aries energy. Okay. So that is planning. Continue to plan the best that you can. Continue to do the things that you can do. And remain steadfast. Remain planted in your beliefs, in your spirituality. Remain firm, unshakable. Okay? Have a positive outlook. Have a positive outlook. Otherwise, don't look too far within the horizon. Remain steady. Don't let your mind bring or breathe fear into you. Okay? That's very important. Don't overthink it. Yeah, don't be afraid of the horizon, what's in the future. Don't let that cause you anxiety. Okay? Then I'll put the last one. Fool. Okay. So the Fool is They're full of innocence. Be happy, okay? Remain joyful. Even in the midst of the storm, remain joyful. Find it in you. Remain confident that the right resolution will come to you. Remain loyal to yourself. Be your own companion. Be your own strength. Because this is a test for us right now. It's an absolute test to see how you perform in a stormy situation. How you perform. Are you going to pass the test? Because sometimes we say things, we know things, but have we lived through it? We have a mission. We all have a mission. How do you help someone if you yourself have not lived through it? It's harder to do. It's not as validating to do. So you have to be your own companion. Sometimes that's what it is. When there's no one else around, don't forget that we are still the magician. Be loyal to the things that you believe in. Remain innocent in your spirit. Like, don't stoop low. Remain pure. People might see you as a fool, but the divine knows that you are actually passing this test. And there's going to be rewards. Inevitably, there will be rewards. So, we can have the outcome that we want, but we have to believe it. You have to believe it. And new beginnings will come. Depending on how we navigate this situation right now that we're all being charged with, it will determine what the next phase, what we see in the next phase of our journey. So we might get some help. It might come in any shape or form. It might come from the divine, okay? Because we did get the magician, as above, so below, telling us that what we can gain from someone else is actually available within us too. The help that we are looking for, that we think we might need from someone else, some of us, we have to get it from ourselves. We are being called to be our own inner strength. Okay? To defend ourselves, to be inspired. Be inspired to take action. And take that action from a place of knowing who you are, knowing your truth. Those are the messages that I'm getting today. It's not about what is happening on the outside as much as it is on what is happening within us. That is so much more important. That is so much more important. Because any number of things can happen. But if we are not balanced, it's hard to gain a positive result from that. Love yourselves. Believe in yourselves. Confident in knowing that nothing, even the most stressful and painful things last forever. Change will come. It will come. Let the storm pass. Remain steadfast. That's when our true characters should be at the best. During trial. When we're going through trials and tribulations, we have to embody who we are, the divine beings that we are. And that's how we show example to the rest of the world. We cannot, we're chosen ones. We are chosen, we really are chosen ones. So act as if. Begin to embody that. Okay? So that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this has helped you. Just know that it will work out. Know that you're not alone in what you're going through. A lot of people are going through stuff right now. The twin flame community, soulmates, and just society in general. Relationships in general. A lot is happening within relationships. There's a lot of, I feel like the whole structure of relationship is being rebuilt. We just happen to be in the twin flame part of it. The divine counterpart part of it. Where we have some karmic lessons that we have to learn, get through, heal, so that we can then get to a sweet spot where we can start to embody and exemplify what a healthy relationship should look like, should feel like. But we oftentimes we have to navigate through some of these situations before we get to that point. And that's with anything in life. We may have to go through some tough times before we get to the good part of things. But we can only get there if we hold fast to who we are. If we get comfortable with loving ourselves, fighting for ourselves, defending ourselves, speaking our truth, taking action on our own behalf. All the while, doing it in a responsible way, in an admirable way, in an exemplifying way. Okay, so that's the message I have for us today. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you guys, and I'm here for you guys. Do like and subscribe if this is your first time watching this. Like and subscribe. Make comments as you see fit. And I will see you guys on the next video. I've really enjoyed bringing this message today. It's really important to me. And because again, I just know that I am not the only one that's going through this. It's all over. People are going through things right now. And through it, you're not alone. Through it, we are more than conquerors. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.